Okay, let's see here. Do. Ah, gotta bring that up too. I think we're good. Okay. All right. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back. And I hope you're able to kind of join me today. But so yeah, I'm Johanna, and I like to come on here and paint. Um, Usually, I do a lot of pastels. That's what the majority of my work is in. But today, I'm working in acrylic. Uh, I find it's kind of easier to work large, like on a large scale, if I'm using acrylic rather than soft pastels. So yeah, if you can see me and hear me, it would be great if you can let me know in the comments because it may be glitchy right now. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Hopefully, you can let me know. I'm streaming, I believe, to Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. I'm most familiar with LinkedIn, so if there is an issue on Facebook and YouTube, bear with me because I just try and like learn something new each time I stream to those platforms. So I might not know how to solve all that, but let me check a couple things here. Yeah, maybe if I refresh this, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Groovy. Not too sure. Maybe it's because Restream is just being funky, but there we go. We're gonna just continue on anyways. So yeah. So like I said, I find that working on a large scale in soft pastel is kind of difficult, right? I mean, not that it can't be done, but you're kind of limited to the size and composition when you're working in soft pastel because most often soft pastelists like to use pre-made sanded paper, right? So one way to get around that is to make your own sanded surface, and you can do that with pumice paste. You can do that with some matte medium. You can do that with clear gesso. You can do it with regular gesso. It's still got like a little bit of grit to it, but depends on how heavy you work with your soft pastels. Um, or, you could get like a roll of UArt paper. It's a specially made sanded surface. But you can get like a roll of it and then mount it or adhere it to a board if you really wanted something pre-made still. But so you can see that this one I made specifically for this piece. It's 20 inches by 40 inches. And so I just wanted to work with acrylic. I'm trying to get a little bit more situated with acrylic here. Let me check one thing. Oh, okay, cool. It looks like. Oh, a little bit more. There we go. Maybe we'll see. I don't know, but I'm trying to learn a little bit more with acrylic because I do. I mean, I love soft pastel. Don't get me wrong, but I love some like liquid paint as well. And why not? So I'm just, sprucing up my acrylic abilities here. I love working in just regular acrylic and open acrylic. Open acrylics is something specially made by Golden, and it's a type of acrylic paint that is slow drying. So it stays wet longer, so you get the ability to like have those smooth blends. Whereas regular acrylic, it's pretty, it will dry really fast, especially if you live in Colorado like me and it's already dry out. It just sucks all the moisture out of it. So, yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. Let's see here. What else can I show you? So, I don't know. This is my little study I was working on in my sketchbook. And this is what it looks like, okay? And so I really enjoyed it. And so now I've scaled it up, and that's what I'm doing today. So I was kind of inspired by this piece because, oh, hi, Jakey. He's getting water. Sorry. But I was inspired to make this piece because I wouldn't say a lot of plein air painting, but when I can, and when it's not like 100-degree weather out and I won't just fry and burn, then I like to go outside and paint. Okay. And so there's one of my trips where I'm like sitting up on this really cool hill. It's like in Green Mountain, and you just see all of the Front Range mountains. You can see all the way from Lookout Mountain all the way to Castle Rock, which is like really far in the distance, right? And so I was kind of doing pastels there, but I took a whole bunch of pictures, and I was like, it would be really cool to kind of do this like linear, like landscape scene. And so I took that, stuck it in my back pocket, went back to the studio and started working on that. So I'm working from a couple of photos there. I had a sketch while I was outside plein air painting. Let me see if I can show y'all. Oh, that's actually not bad. Do you guys ever like look back at your sketchbook and like when you were making it, you're like, oh, this is awful. And then you see it again, you're like, yeah, that was okay. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So yeah, here's like one of my sketches of it in pastel. And then here is like just in charcoal and some graphite. So I'm working off of that for some of my composition. I have this study now, and I also based this color study off of another piece that I did that I really liked the color palette. So that's what I'm doing today. This, so much to tell you. I could just keep going. But so this is my own surface that I made. This is on gatorboard. Okay, so gatorboard is kind of like foam core board, except that it's got some kind of like wood particle laminate for the surface, and it's a little bit sturdier than foam core board, I find. You could also use foam core board if you'd like. I'm not the type to work on canvas that much. I don't like the texture of it. But hey, so I used gatorboard. I sealed and primed both sides with gesso, just regular gesso. Okay, this is white gesso. On the back, I made it gray because I thought it looks better on the back once you're gonna mount it and frame it. But I sealed both sides, and as much as the edges as I can, even though the foam was exposed, because it helps lock in the moisture, like, or keep out the moisture if there ever is any moisture that gets towards the painting. So I recommend, even if you are working on canvas, to seal the back side of your painting with some gesso. It will help, you know, prevent that moisture, because a lot of the time, even if it's on a frame, you know, the front side, if you get pre-made canvases, the front side is gessoed, but the back side isn't. And if a client, or you end up selling that piece, or even if you're just displaying it and you're not framing it and there's no back to it, moisture can seep into the back of the canvas fibers and corrode your painting from the canvas. Okay, so I see that a lot in like some damaged works. It's really just water damage, and it will make your paintings crack and peel and get all gunky and nasty. So I recommend sealing the back of your stuff as well. But so, and then on top of that, so this was just white, and I'm blocking in some background color, right? This is like an olive green, like a dark olive green that I did. And so now I'm gonna start blocking in these mountain ranges here. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get started. Hope y'all are having a wonderful week so far. I'm super excited. Like, I'm still working, like, oh, sorry guys. All right, there we go. Anyways, what I was gonna say is that I'm still working like 28 or so hours or more. I don't really know anymore. But I don't, because I'm covering on like all day Friday, I get to go in a little bit later today. So I'm like, heck yes, I'm gonna paint. And it's kind of like that for the next couple of days. So I was like, I'm gonna take this opportunity to get my painting on. So just using some like mid-grade acrylic, I guess if that's what you want to call it, mid-grade, but I really like them. They're Winsor Newton acrylics, and I'm going to be using some ultramarine blue and some titanium white and some alizarin crimson. I'm going to be blocking in this mountain range as a blue color. So let me see. I find that I have to use like a lot, especially in the underpainting. Be prepared for that when you're working larger. Ultramarine, some titanium white. Oh, it's gonna be hard for me to open. Okay, we got it. Put the white here. And I'm just using a disposable paper palette. Okay. Like some palette paper. I love palette paper. I don't know about y'all, but I love palette paper. One thing that I notice, I don't have like what's called like an open palette, but I make my own. So with palette paper, I like the smoothness of it, and to keep my paint, especially if it's like regular acrylic, I'll do this even with my open acrylics as well. But sometimes when you're done painting and you have to like, you know, take a break or walk away for a day, you still have dollops of acrylic on your palette paper. And so this palette paper fits into, I think it's like a 9x12 or something like that, glass casserole dish. Okay. And so I put then a piece of wet paper towel in between the sheet here, like under it. And then I close it off. There's like this cover for that casserole dish, and I put that on top of there, and it just helps your paint. I put that cover on top of the casserole dish, and then it just helps your paint stay wet longer. So that's what I do. I haven't bought like an actual wet palette, but that's because I like the easiness of disposing of my palette paper. And or honestly, I'm kind of probably a weird palette paper hoarder because sometimes I really like the paint, like the mixtures on it, and I want to like reference that same color palette, so I'll keep my like sheets of palette paper a little bit. Is that weird? Probably. But hey, whatever. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. All right. And I might actually move some of this over here so I'm not bending down so much. And I am going to move this so it doesn't drip. Or you know what? I'll probably actually just put it here. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Before I do that, oh, thanks to whoever's watching. Let's see. I'm gonna put in some headphones so I can listen to music. But if you guys have anything to say, feel free to type in the comments. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Okay. So I kind of drew on here with some pastel, and clearly I'm going over some of it. But all that does, once you mix pastel pigment with water, becomes liquid paint. So it might kind of blend a little bit, but that's okay because this is the underpainting and I don't really care. And I'm probably going to even go after I do this underpainting. I'm going to go back over it and reinforce my drawing a little bit with some pastel again. So cool. Hi, Auntie. What's going on? What you doing this Tuesday? I get to go to work a little bit later, so I'm covering like all day Fridays. So I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna come on here and paint. Oh, so it's in New Mexico. Is that cool like ritual thing that you're gonna go to, Nancy? That's gonna be really cool. I didn't know it was in New Mexico. Is it just for the weekend, or are you gonna be? How long are you gonna be there for? I'm gonna go visit some New Mexico. I think Ryan and I would really like it. We're thinking about like maybe moving further south, either like southern Colorado or yeah, maybe some New Mexico. The housing prices in New Mexico seem pretty groovy, so I was like, that's gorgeous. Looks gorgeous there. Oh, just until Sunday. That's cool. That's cool. When do you leave? Oh, Thursday night. Oh, cool. That's gonna be cool. Are you just driving straight through then? You gonna stop anywhere? It's gonna be so fun. I'm excited. Excited for you. Driving straight through. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's exciting. Well, you have to tell me about all the food and stuff, but it's gonna be yummy and cool. It's like so hot. It's been so hot lately. Oh my gosh. I wonder what the weather is going to be like down there. Like the temperature. Is it super hot? It's like 98 or something today in town. It could get up to like 101 or something. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's gonna be so hot, Auntie. Oh my gosh. Gonna come back all crispy. I know, they're crazy. Was there one in Colorado like yesterday? It was weird. I was like, we were driving to work, right? Ryan was dropping me off, and we were going over this corner, and you could just see like the smoke from the horizon. I was like, that looks like it's in Colorado. I don't think that's weird fire haze or whatever from from Canada, but this was like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was here in Colorado. Oh, right off 285. What? I didn't know that. Jeez. That's sad. That sucks. Is it from like a lightning storm or is it from people? Mom had to go through Evergreen to get home. Oh, dang. I didn't realize that. Wow. Oh man, that sucks. So it's like in the Morrison conifer area or something. Maybe it's just all cut off. It's further out. Screen. Sorry, I'm probably like singing. David Bowie came on. Okay, you can't like not at Turkey Creek. Dang, I didn't know. Oh, that's such a bummer. Let's see. Well, I'm glad that you're at least getting away a little bit. It's nice to take a break and go do some cool things. Like, I'm tempted to kind of just smooth this one out, like this little mountain hill thing out. Not too sure. We'll see. Maybe just slightly. It's gonna be so fun. Ooh. Super cool. And I love road tripping. Do you have a playlist? Some radio? There's a really cool, ooh, I'll have to message you. There's a really cool radio channel once you get further enough south. It's like what I look forward to when we go to Walsenburg. I'm like, yes, it's the coolest radio station. Um, but I'll have to, because I think you could kind of get it like on iHeartRadio or whatever that is. But if you're gonna just be, jamming with the car, um, you can get it. I think kind of when you get into Colorado Springs or like Pueblo or something. Um, so I'll have to text it to you, message you. I'm not painting technically from a picture. I'm painting from a lot of things now. Um, so I feel silly. I should have. I'm gonna walk around and deal with this, but so I made a little study, right? I think it was on Sunday. I don't know what day it is now. Why won't you go down even further? There we go. There. Does that work? Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay. But I made a little study. And so now I'm kind of working mostly from that study. Yeah. And so this is how the study turned out. So yeah, now I'm scaling it up. But for the study and for this, like there was a little bit of reference photos I was using. But I was also going based off of a couple of my sketches when I was outside plein air painting. I went to the Iron Springs, some kind of park. It's a dog park right off of Alameda Parkway. Have you ever been there? But I went there and I painted and I did a couple of sketches. But I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to kind of do this like elongated linear panoramic thing. And so I came home with my sketches and I did my study and I have like the photos that I took from there. And then I also, I'm using like a previous pastel painting I did for the color concept because I really liked the color palette. So I'm doing a smorgasbord of references. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. But now I'm mainly just kind of working from my study, which is kind of how I paint. Once I get a study, I'm like, oh, I want it to look like that. The marks I made in the study were really cool, so I'm trying to emulate those if I can. And it's kind of different than I normally paint with acrylic, so, but I've been liking it. So I have an art buddy at work. His name is John. He's really cool. But he used to be really big in like the art scene for a little while. His wife's a photographer. She also teaches at Red Rocks. But so, you know, I value his opinion, and he's trying to, you know, it's like, you should go visit this gallery and talk to this gallery. He's trying to get me into galleries. That's what's going on. But you know, like one day he was saying, he was like, oh, you know, you kind of have this cool expressionistic style going for you. And he was like, you should kind of lean into that a little bit more. And so once I made this study, I was like, oh, it's kind of expressionistic, and I really liked it. And I was like, that's probably what he was talking about. So I'm excited. Okay. All right. So I blocked in color, right? And now I'm gonna kind of go back over with some pastel and make a drawing again and kind of revamp some of that stuff. Let's see if I can get some pastel. Cool. Second, y'all. Okay. So I want my clouds to kind of whoosh in. And here I could probably. So I'm taking like a soft pastel and gonna be redrawing a lot of this stuff. Sorry, I'm not a camera person. I don't have a fancy camera. And it's really just like lines and directional marks. So I'm taking a harder stick pastel. I want some kind of clouds to kind of come from this direction and off the page. And then I just kind of do like little, because while I'm trying to like replicate my study, I also don't want it to be like the exact same, right? So it's gonna be close though. And then as your clouds get closer to the horizon line, they're going to get smaller and more clumped together. You're almost not going to see like an actual cloud formation. It just kind of really gets blurred. At least that's what I do. Okay, let me step back, make sure that looks good. Yeah. I want this one right here. Right there, yeah. Okay, let's see something really quick. Oh, this is why I have to wear an apron. I just like wipe my dusty hands all over my clothes. Oh, that's all good, Dan. Sorry you're having some work issues. I'll catch you later, though. So yeah, it looks like I'm having some kind of restream LinkedIn issue because I can see my auntie's comments on restream from Facebook, but I can't see LinkedIn unless I go into LinkedIn, but then they don't really show up. I have to look at the notifications. So that's what happens. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna be what am I gonna be doing? So I'm gonna be kind of doing like a bluish green now in the sky area. So let me get some. Let me try this. Let me try this one. I might do some yellow ochre, but I might try some cadmium yellow hue. And I'm just mixing that then with my ultramarine blue to make a green, right? What's this? Gotta wipe off my palette knife. Ooh, that's really dark. That's a pretty green though. Needs to be more blue. Where's my blue? Oh. One second, y'all. Sorry, I'm just looking for my clippy. Okay, yeah, there we go. So I tend to have a really limited color palette. When it comes to liquid paints, except, I don't know, I'll expand more with watercolor, but with oils and acrylics, I just like to have a limited color palette. Most time I get ultramarine blue, titanium white, yellow ochre, an alizarin crimson, a cadmium yellow, or if I want an opaque yellow, because cadmium will be a little bit transparent. If I want an opaque yellow, I'll do like something like a Naples yellow or something like that. A cadmium red. Did I already say yellow ochre? And then yellow ochre. And then that's about it. And I don't typically get my own green because I know I can make any kind of color green or temperature or tone green what I got. I don't get orange. I don't get purple. I just mix those. And I like doing that because sometimes when you have too many tubes of paint, it's hard to you kind of sometimes will reach for all of them. And then that's how, if you're mixing so many colors together, your color palette will get a little bit muddy. Okay, it won't look so cohesive in your body of work. There's something lacking, I feel like, too, when you're always reaching for pre-made colors. Now, that's just my opinion, but there's just like it lacks some kind of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know. It lacks something, in my opinion. So I tend to, and that's kind of like the fun of it, right? I think that's fun of it, is mixing my own colors, making my own colors. So that's just my way of painting, but also it's an economical way of painting too. Not that I do it for that intention, but if you think like, oh, I need to go out and get this huge, extensive, expensive painting palette. No, no, literally, my colors consist of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 colors pretty much Those are my go-to things. You can get, you have all the primaries, you can make all the secondaries, you can make all the values within those, you can make all the neutrals and browns and grays. And so trying to think if I want this. I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. And that's why I have a yellow ochre, because it's yellow ochre is kind of like rustic. It's like a rustic kind of yellow brown. And it's easier to make those neutral browns in my opinion. I don't even really I don't buy a black. Like I have actually like I have black. I guess I won't say I don't buy a black, but it's mainly because if I use black, it's for an underpainting. It's like the tone of my canvas. I won't mix black. I don't mix black in my colors because you can get a really dark hue by mixing alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue. Becomes this like really, really dark purple. Almost, it's like almost black then. So that's what I do. So okay. All right. So let's see here. What do I want? What kind of marks do I want? How big of a mark do I want? Hmm. Now I may want something of a bigger brush, but we'll see. Nope, I like that pretty well. I'm gonna use this one. Might even want something smaller. We'll see here. I think that's pretty perfect. Okay. Time is it? Okay, that's not bad. I have to watch the clock so I can go to work on time. Cool. So I'm not trying to cover up all of this green either. Like it's gonna naturally kind of get covered up in areas. some of the areas I might want it to peek through as well. So I don't have an intention of doing that, but the way I'm kind of painting is making these like directional scratchy marks, but they're really spaced out. I'm not trying to fill in, block in the color, I guess I'm trying to say. And then I'll just keep layering and layering like this. And then that's kind of how you get this really expressionistic looking piece. Cool. And I'm kind of moving a little bit. That's what I'm kind of trying to do, but I'm starting to move a little bit more dark to light. This is pretty light, but this is honestly going to be the color, near the color of the final sky. And I'm doing it this way so then that way I can have some of this blue peeking through in my mountain ranges. And it's going to kind of harmonize with the final sky. Let me see. What is that? Yeah. Yes. So I do. I do sell my paintings. Is it Ben? I do. Right now I charge $3 a square inch per piece. Um, for my acrylic paintings, that doesn't include like shipping and everything, or framing. But for my pastel pieces, it does because I need like the soft pastel. I don't want it to get ruined, So I make sure like uh, I want those to usually be framed, um, or they if the customer really prefers to get it framed later, then yeah, it'll be okay. But um, usually like to have a conversation about that first. But yeah, of course I do. These are always available for sale. Um, I have a website you can uh, go look at. It's johannareneeart.com. It's on my profile for easy access. And if you see anything, just let me know. Appreciate your interest. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. I'm not in a gallery as of yet. I've been looking, but no, I do. I'm a self-promoting artist at the moment, and I just pretty much sell online. Um, but I have been looking. Just I need to find the right one. Um, but because yeah, exactly. They take like, which is fine. I mean, it's a business. A gallery's a business. They want to make money too. Um, so of course, they're gonna take some commission, but that's not really like what deters me or anything. I expect to, if they're gonna be marketing my paintings, um, as hard as I do, then yeah, they deserve it. But if they're not going to, and they expect a pretty high commission, and then I usually will just kind of turn that down. Um, I just haven't found the right relationship within that either. Or just kind of the right gallery, like the right vibes. Although I went to Foothills Art Center on Friday, and it was cool. I was like, oh man, I can see my artwork in here. Before, I've been to galleries and openings and stuff, but it's it's just some of the galleries you just don't vibe with, right? Like, you know, it looks like you're a painter. I just don't vibe with them. And um, I need to know too, if my work is going to be held up in their gallery, then I need to be sure that they have a collectorship that might actually be interested in my work. You know, like I don't want to just accept any kind of gallery. I They need to have a collectorship that's kind of interested in my work, and then that's when it's mutual too, because I do so much self promotion and I've been selling just online. Then if I'm referring those my collectorship to the gallery to purchase, I want it to be like a synergy, you know, like I want that gallery to be like an extension of myself. um so and I really just haven't found that yet. But maybe because I kind of really liked this Foothills Art Center, so they have 3 galleries and it's a center, you know. um but who knows, who knows. Let's see here. Are you okay, buddy? Sorry, y'all. I don't know if you heard that. The dog was like coughing. Oh. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll check your message, Ben, like after the live. But thank you. I'll check it out. Okay, let's see here. Gonna draw a little bit on here. She wants to curve down more. Let me look. Okay, cool. Groovy. That looks good for now. Oh man, I can't get this open. Ah. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can just. Let's try this here. Maybe a little bit, just a little bit of blue. Oof, it's too yellow. Let's look if we can just make this, tone that down a little bit. I want it to be more golden than it is yellow. Almost there. There we go. Yep. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of make some marks in the clouds here. And then I'll probably have to call it a day. Gotta go to work. Okay. And again, I'm just kind of making these layers of marks that I just kind of will keep refining and refining as I keep going. Oh, thanks, Auntie. It's coming along, huh? It's in its awkward adolescent stage right now. All right. And some of this like yellow I'm laying on thick because it will tend to, what am I trying to say, get lost later on when I'm doing all of these, because it's kind of transparent. So when I'm layering, I want some of these, I want some of that yellow to come through. So some of the areas I'm definitely making sure to come on thick. Okay. So that's probably about it, y'all. for today. Okay, so, but hey, thanks Auntie for chatting with me and Ben and yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this little painting session. And I'm gonna go eat something before I go to work. And yeah, and then I might paint on this a little bit later tonight. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to stream again and on this piece. But yeah, so hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And thanks for watching.